If you struggle with persistent calf soreness, you're gonna love this video. I have two goals for this video. Number one, let's help you alleviate any calf soreness that you might be experiencing right now. And I wanna help you get stronger so that you don't have any calf soreness in the first place. Now, all of us experience calf soreness from time to time. I remember when I was in college running cross country, the first workout that we ever did in spikes at the beginning of the season was always just carnage. Our calves would be totally shot after that first workout because we had just spent 3 months or so not wearing spikes for workouts and not including all of that intensity in our training during summer base training. And so that's a great example of just not being ready for it. And over time, as we got used to running our workouts in our racing spikes and actually running our races in those spikes, we got a lot better at mitigating calf soreness. And there are a couple types of runners who are much more susceptible to calf soreness. You, of course, have your older runners. You know, if you're a masters runner, you're probably recognizing the fact that your calves might be a little bit more sore now than they used to be. And that's simply a function of your calf tissue just being a little bit less supple, a little bit weaker. And, you know, these things happen with age. And so if you're a masters runner, if you might be a grandmaster runner or older, these tips are going to be really helpful for you. So what I'd like to do is talk about, number one, how to alleviate any calf soreness. And I have a whole host of strategies that are going to be really helpful for you. Do I think you should implement all of these today? No. I think that's overkill. You're probably going to make yourself even more sore, or just, you know, too mentally fatigued from trying to work on your calf soreness over and over and just implementing too many strategies at once. So if your calves are really sore, maybe you just did a workout, maybe you just did a very hilly long run on some technical trails and your calves are really shot, one thing that you should probably do during this period of recovery is to avoid excessive stretches of time where you're barefoot or in zero drop shoes, especially if you're doing lots of walking, standing, or otherwise strenuous activity. Let's give your calves a little bit more support and not put them in that fully stretched out position. You can also wear compression socks or sleeves to enhance blood flow to the area. That's going to help the recovery process. If you're able to run with your sore calves, let's avoid any substantial hills, especially uphills. Those uphills are going to put you into a more aggressive position. You're going to be up more on your toes, and that's just going to be more stressful for your calves. Might also be a great idea to start doing a little bit of self-massage. Let's not be super aggressive if your calves are sore, but a little bit of massage will help with bringing that really healing blood flow to the area. So you can get on your foam roller and you can foam roll not just the calf, but also the soleus muscle, which is between your Achilles tendon and your calf. And let's also use a golf ball or massage ball or lacrosse ball to massage the underside of your foot. What we're really trying to do is we're trying to loosen up all of the musculature, not only with your calf, but also around your calf, so that if there's any tightness or immobility in that area, we can loosen it up and you're going to be much more likely to feel good when you go running. It'd also be really smart to stay hydrated. If you're really hydrated, your tissues are going to be less flexible. They're going to not heal as quickly. So hydration is really important if you're dealing with any kind of muscle soreness. And the other thing that you should avoid doing is a lot of static stretching. Because after all, what is actually going on with our calf when it's really sore? Well, it's damaged. It's like anything when we exercise, we damage our muscle tissue a little bit. And when we then rest, we recover, it builds back, and it builds back even stronger. And so right now you're in this period where there is some micro tears in your muscle tissue. And to help that recovery process, we don't want to do a lot of static stretching, because stretching a tissue that has micro tears in it is not going to help that recovery process at all. So those are a lot of great ideas to help you mitigate any calf soreness that you might have right now. Some of them are going to be more effective than others. Some of them might not help you at all, and some of them might be very helpful. Look at this as a menu of options to help you accomplish your goal of getting your calves feeling better.
You know, I'm not that big into supplements, but I do love AG1 by Athletic Greens. I consider it my nutrition insurance, helping me cover all my bases so I know I'm not missing out on anything my body needs, especially when I'm training really hard. I try to eat really well, but of course, AG1 is that extra security that gives me peace of mind over my diet. 1 scoop per day, and I'm getting 75 vitamins and minerals, prebiotics, probiotics, antioxidants, and adaptogens. You can try it out too at athleticgreens.com/Jason, and they're going to throw in a free year's worth supply of vitamin D and 5 free travel packs. Check it out at athleticgreens.com/Jason.
All right, now the fun part. Let's talk about how to change your training a little bit to make a lot of these problems really not a problem in the first place. We really want to make your calves strong enough to handle the stress of running. And a fun strategy, it is fun because it entails getting more running shoes and casual shoes, is a mirror opposite of one of the strategies we used to alleviate calf soreness, and that is to spend time in zero drop or very low drop shoes, because it's going to put your foot and lower leg musculature in a more stretched out position, in a more natural position. And if you're getting too sore, if your calves are just always sore from running or doing workouts, then it might be because you're simply wearing very restrictive shoes for all the hours that you're not running. So if we can use some zero drop shoes, and I'll give some examples in the description that I really love myself, then we are giving ourselves every advantage when it comes to the time when we're not running. But what's going to be most helpful is actually doing things in our training to get stronger and to train our calves to handle running. So one of my favorite strategies is just to make sure that you are running very fast at least twice a week. And we can accomplish this with strides. We can accomplish this with hill sprints. We can accomplish this sometimes with our workouts. Now, we probably have to run faster than, say, 10K pace. I really want you up on your toes in that more aggressive running posture. And that is going to load the calf and soleus muscles. That is going to really give you much more stress in that lower leg complex. And over time, it's going to make it stronger. And by repeatedly exposing yourself to that, it's going to help you just not get so sore from it. It's like any kind of training, right? You train for it so that your body is adapted to it as well. Now, in terms of workouts, hill workouts can be really helpful, because what hills do is they force you to get up more on your midfoot and more on your forefoot. So it's gonna put a lot more stress on your calf, and that's a good thing, because it's gonna make it stronger and really give you that stimulus to build stronger calves and really ensure that, you know, when you're out there running and you hit a hill, or you're running a race and there's a big hill, that isn't a novelty for your body. Your body is not only adapted to it, it's ready for it, and it's ready to tackle that hill in that more aggressive posture with athleticism. Now, one of the things that I think is very helpful, that is fairly easy to include in your training, that a lot of older runners, myself included, stop doing once they start, you know, not training with the team, once they start, you know, training by themselves, is a lot of the drills, a lot of the skipping. A lot of this kind of work is very much loads the calf complex, and it forces you to be on your toes. And that kind of work is exactly what we're looking for. So if you are not doing any form drills, if you're not doing any kind of skipping drills, that can be really helpful to prevent all kinds of calf soreness. Another thing that can be really helpful is jump rope. Now, jump rope is usually not seen as, you know, something that runners do, but if you include it in your warm-up, for example, that is a wonderful time to do, you know, maybe 30 seconds or a minute of jump rope. And if you do that a couple days a week, maybe before your harder workouts, just to make sure that you're even more warmed up, this, I think, is a great way to not only help yourself warm up, but help yourself develop that athleticism so that you're not getting so sore from running. Strength training is obviously going to be very helpful for this. Now, you don't have to do a lot of calf-specific strength exercises, but we do want to make sure that you are strong all over. So a good general strength program where you're in the gym, you're lifting weights, this is going to really help your calf soreness. And finally, if you are someone who just has persistent chronic sore calves and you really do want to strengthen them, eccentric calf drops are some of my favorite exercises for making this happen. Really helpful for remodeling the Achilles tendon, really helpful for building that eccentric strength. And the eccentric muscle contractions, where your muscle tendon is lengthening under load, you know, those are those muscle contractions that tend to make you a lot more sore. So let's practice them regularly so that we're conditioning our muscles to handle that kind of stress. Those are my strategies for helping you both alleviate calf soreness and then also build up your calves so that they can handle the stress of running. Whether you're sprinting, whether you're running hard uphill, whether you're a track athlete, or whether you're an ultra marathoner and you know that you're going to be running some gnarly technical terrain for 50 miles or 100 miles. And so, like I mentioned earlier, I don't want you to take all these strategies and start using them today. It might make you even more sore. So you treat this video sort of like a menu. Choose a couple that you think might work for you and experiment with them in your training. Shoot me an email at support@strengthrunning.com. I'm curious to hear how these strategies have impacted you if you're dealing with consistent calf soreness.